What is up, guys? What is up? Jay Bynum back again for Ekklesia, Arkansas. Okay, so I'm gonna break down real quick for you guys. Let me go ahead and bring up um, my Telegram text so you guys can join in the conversation. I will be answering questions on Telegram if you guys want to put them in there. Um, and I'll go ahead and bring it up here. Oh, that is not the right Telegram. Let's see. I find it here. Is it? Wonder where it is. Well, you know what? It might be this one. Yep, there we go. It's the Telegram. I'm gonna go ahead and bring this up to the top of the page. All right, guys. So, if you want to join in on questions and answers, while I'm doing this broadcast, I'll look over at the Telegram here. It's going to be at the public square, EKKARK, up at the very top. And it's I want to talk to you today about God's currency. Well, first and foremost, I want you to know that I am a firm believer that God's currency is more based on faith and truth. To me, those are eternal currencies. You know, the Lord tells us, "Do not store treasure up in here on earth, where moths and moths can eat, and rust can happen here." And I'm extremely in agreement with that. This is about more of, when I say God's currency, I'm meaning this is an older currency that has been valuable for since biblical times, and I want to talk to you about silver, okay, today, and that is the three things that I have right in front of me, and I'm going to give you a couple of different things here. But first, I'm going to talk about what is, to me, unacceptable currency, okay? And a lot of you might be asking, well, why do I have a spoon right here? It's not really currency. Well, to be completely honest, the reason why it's over the dollar bill and behind or in front of a penny and a dime, as well as a quarter, is because to me, this spoon has more value than any of these combined. And in a maybe not so distant future, that actually may be the case, where all of these will be worthless, thrown to the side, as well as this big honking thing here thrown to the side, and you're left with your spoon being more valuable than all of these things, okay? And it's not just the dollar bill. To me, the spoon is also more valuable than even the $20 bill. So let's go ahead and move all that stuff to the side, and I want to bring to the forefront silver, okay? I'm not here to sell you anything, and also I'm going to go ahead and give a disclaimer that I am not a financial advisor. I am here to show you the differences and kind of give you an introduction into silver. For some people who have been wanting to get into it but don't really know quite what it actually is and why it's kind of a craze right now. It's not really a craze. It's something that's been taken the back seat, mainly because the enemy doesn't want you to be self-sufficient. The enemy wants you relying on the enemy system, okay? And the enemy system is this, right? That's the enemy system. And this isn't something that you can necessarily get rich quick on. This is to preserve what you have. And excuse me for the autofocus. It goes in and out sometimes. I would like a better lighting system, but that's okay. I'm going to try to shield what I can. Um, but this right here isn't a get rich quick. This is a silver. There's different forms of silver, and I'm just going to give you the basics, okay? And the reason why I want you guys to take this conversation over to the public square is because I'm going to be answering more questions there than I'm going to be asking or answering them even on the live chat. Mainly because it's very important to get more of a personal connection when someone wants to maybe invest in the precious metals. And silver isn't the only precious metal. Of course, you have your gold, your platinum, your titanium, your copper. I know you saw the penny here. Okay, that's not even really that much copper. Okay, I'm here to let you know. A lot of people might be, well, I've got quarters. Okay, well, they stopped putting an extreme amount of silver in quarters, I think since 1980 something. Like I said, I'll give you more of an education on a different day. Okay, that's like a 2000 something quarter. So basically, that's more nickel and other types of metal. You can hear it. There's actually a test where you can kind of cling stuff together. You'll be able to hear the difference in silver. See, that's not, you can't really hear that. That's not silver, but when you actually cling silver together, oop, whenever you cling silver together, it makes a better sound. A very nice ding ding, beautiful, beautiful sound. You can't replace that. As a matter of fact, when people go to test silver, they actually do that clanging test sometimes to make sure it's actually legitimate silver. Of course, they've got other tests. But anyway, I just wanted to come and talk about the basics here. I'm not going to give you extreme amount of education on silver. That will come later. I will be doing this series. It's going to be a new series here on Ekklesia, Arkansas, because, to be honest, I just have a fascination with silver, and I don't look at it as just a fascination. When I look at it as a long-term investment, because when I have silver, to me it preserves my wealth that I've accumulated over time, and it's only going up in value. It's not diminishing. Whereas it's not like a new car when you drive it off the lot, where it depreciates as soon as it drives off. Whenever you attain silver, this is a asset you can hold in your hand. Whenever you have that, it's to me just a preservation of wealth. And this is precious metals. This is, to me, God's currency. And what are we doing with it? Okay. Well, I do know that technologies, as they advance, there will be more of a need for silver. Silver is and why, and I'll also answer why silver instead of gold. And I'm going to go ahead and answer that now. Let's say a house is a house, correct? So you buy a house, but there's many different types of houses. There's a trailer, there's a regular home, which is about a 3-bedroom home, or a 2-bedroom home and half bath, whatever you want to talk about there, okay? But there's also mansions, right? So people will also buy mansions, and people will buy regular homes. Regular homes, most realtors want the regular homes because they're a quick gain and a quick sell. And they have more growth potential because more people can afford not growth potential. It's more of a career because more people can afford an actual regular home instead of a mansion. Okay. Well, this is the same concept. The way that I look at silver is like gold, but there's more of a market for it because you can obtain it and exchange it a lot quicker than you can gold, mainly because gold is very expensive to obtain. It's very expensive to trade, and you have a lot of people do have gold, but to me, silver has that not just an extreme amount of growth potential like gold does. And I'm sorry for the autofocus, guys. It's because I keep putting my hand in the frame. Um, but silver has the ability to uh, to be bartered in a rough situation. You don't know what kind of situation we're headed into. And these right here, these are called fractionals, and these are very good for your barter system. Okay, where this is a tenth of an ounce of silver. This is a whole ounce of silver. So 10 of these make up one of these. Okay, and this is a half ounce silver, where two of these make up one of these. And these fractionals are very good for bartering. As it stands now, I would price this fractional, a tenth, is about, to me, the going rate is close to about $5 a pop right now, but that's dollars, okay? So we all know that the dollars are devaluing. When the dollar devalues, okay, and dwindles away, the silver gains in value. Why? Because this is an asset that goes up when the dollar goes down. And for anyone who wants to know more about silver, that's why I'm leaving this open to conversation in the public square, because there's so much ins and outs when you talk about silver. And I'm going to be giving you that throughout this new series that I'm bringing to you. So I talked about the fractionals, how they're very good for bartering, and that's why I personally have some fractionals in my stacking. And what is stacking? Some people might ask, well, stacking is when you have an accumulation of an item and you are storing it away for not just a rainy day to cash in later. You're storing it away for wealth preservation. And most people stack gold and silver and all of that. To me, these are not as volatile as, let's say, stocks. So if most people would think, if you're going to invest in anything, you invest in the stocks. Stocks are volatile. What does that mean? That means other people control the swing of how much something is worth, more than you as a person may have an impact. But then again, if you also have it's very fragile. It's a very fragile market. Stocks are very fragile because a lot of people can gang up together one day and just say, oh, well, this is more valuable this day. And you get that flowing, and then all of a sudden you have a big sell-off, and then what the gain was that day, well, it then just bottoms out, because a lot of people, well, they see something going up, they want to go make that money on their gains. And well, whereas silver is, if you're buying silver, you're buying it to not just save for a rainy day. You're buying it for wealth preservation, and wealth preservation only. I do think that there's going to be a time very soon where how much silver is worth now will probably be doubled, if not tripled, within the coming season, because, well, mainly because you've got so much going on in the world where, it's kind of obvious at this point. Everybody's talking about this financial thing happening. I'm not going to say it because I don't want to get bumped off YouTube, but everybody's talking about it. So I'm here to tell you a little bit about God's currency. In my opinion, what God's currency is besides faith and truth. And that's an internal currency. This is a currency that, to me, is much more holier than your fiat blood money right here, okay? And all of this change here that, loses its value depending on the times we're living in. Whereas This only loses its value because man tries to manipulate God's currency. I've got here two different types of silver that I'm going to talk about, and then I'm going to end the broadcast. I don't see any questions so far, so if you have any questions, please do yourself a favor. Any questions at all while you're watching this live, go to the Public Square EKKARK on Telegram app and just submit a question. I'll be able to read it and answer it as best as I can. So I'm going to move on and tell you about the last two things. And like I said, there are many aspects about silver. I'm just giving you a small, quick introduction. And again, please excuse my autofocus. I really need a better camera, but that's okay. So the two different types of silver that I have here today is, number one, you have a round, a fractional round, and also another fractional round, but it's a different type. Actually, I've got these mixed up. Okay, and I'll show you why here in a minute. This is a round. This is a fractional round and another fraction of these rounds. Okay, what is a round? A round is, let me go ahead and bring this up to you, if I can get it in good focus. Okay, so you see how that says silver round at the bottom, and it says privately minted. Okay, this is a silver round, which means that this has no currency value. Okay, this was minted privately by a company. I'll show you the company here. It's a company I buy metals from all the time. If I can get it into focus, it's Money Metals Exchange, but I wouldn't go buying just yet. There it is, 1 ounce Troy, 99's fine, 999 ounce fine. And this is privately minted by Money Metals Exchange. Okay, it's going to be the same design, same type of thing here with your half fractional. That's going to be also privately minted. It's going to be basically, and it says silver round there at the bottom if I get my big hands out of the way. And that's a half of an ounce, which this is a whole ounce. This is a half of an ounce. And this is a tenth of an ounce. It's kind of like a dime. It resembles a dime. But it is, and actually the dimes were the original tenth of silver, I believe, back in the day, and that's why they called it a dime, because it was a dime of silver. Which, of course, a dime these days no longer contains, if it does contain silver, is not a whole lot. Like I said, I'm not an expert on currency. I'm an expert on, and I'm not really an expert, because everything I've learned from silver has been learned by the Holy Spirit. And so everything that I've learned by the leading of the Spirit. So the last thing I'm going to show you here is, and these are absolutely amazing. I actually got these for free recently because I referred a couple of people from the Ekklesia to silver, and I got some of these walking liberties, and these are absolutely beautiful, especially the back. A lot of people love the front, but I love the back of them. Okay, now these are not rounds; these are actual currencies. $1 value. It has a $1 face value. Okay, but trust me when I tell you that this dollar is way, way more worth than this dollar. Okay, this $1 has nothing on this $1. All right, and because as it stands right now, this dollar bill, I'm trying to get into focus here. Excuse me. There we go. This dollar bill is worth, I think with the premium today, this is worth $41. So it's $12.99 over premium spot price, and whereas your rounds, they're going to be a little bit cheaper because they're minted privately. They're not mint like this is minted in the United States, and it has a mint mark. I believe, where is the mint mark? Let's see if I can even find it on here. Don't think I can see the mint mark on here. But most of these coins have mint marks on them. I just can't find it at this very moment. So these are two pieces of silver that are excuse me, let me try to get a better focus here on my camera. There we go. So these are two pieces of silver that look very, very similar, but they're very different. And it's not that they have more or less, well, of course your fractionals have less silver, but actually this round has just as much silver in it as this Walking Liberty minted by the United States of America. And if you were to go into a shop and you wanted to trade silver for silver and there was no premium on the actual mintage, well, some shops, I don't know how some shop business models are, but they'd be pretty bad business model for you to for that to be called for you not to get the return premium on this, because they're both the same type of product, but they're really not. Okay, like I said, this is privately minted by a money metals exchange, and this was minted by the United States government. Okay, but ounce by ounce, it's no different. So I know that's a little bit confusing, but like I said, this is an introductory video. I'll go into a lot more detail later on different series, on different days, but I just wanted to get your feet wet a little bit and on precious metals, and silver being the one that I personally choose because, like I said, I feel like an average home, this can come and go within your person at a faster rate than gold can. Because let's say there is talk that there is a revaluation going to happen on gold soon. Well, let's say a piece of gold is worth, let's say it gets revalued at half its price, or more than half its price it's at right now. So let's say gold gets revalued at $5,000. Okay, it's close to $2,000 now. Let's say it gets revalued at double, so it's now worth $4,000 or $5,000. Okay, how many people do you think are going to be able to afford an exchange like that if there is a need for gold in the first place? Well, silver has much more of a need because it's extremely highly conductive, just like kind of gold is, but it's more durable than gold is. So it actually has an industrial use as well as a precious metal I don't want to say vanity. That's a bad word. Gold is more of a luxury item than silver is, mainly because it's a lot less durable in products, and basically that's the point. I don't want to get too far into this. So I'm going to go ahead and cut off the video here. I hope that it was productive and educational for you on silver. Just to get your feet wet, I've got a lot more to share, but it gives you a starting point to start thinking about taking your fiat currency, which is devaluing, okay? That is dwindling and devaluing away into nothing. When you buy this, exchange those notes for this, you're saving your wealth. Yes, maybe there's some taxes, depending on what state you're in, to acquire this. Yes, there may be some fees when, and it's definitely more expensive than $1, that's for sure. But the thing about it is that silver is only gonna go up in value, mainly because we're going into a technical, I believe when we're out of this storm that we're in, We're going to be in a technologically advanced time. And why is this important? This is important because Satan controls your life in two ways. Two. Number one, financial. Okay? He doesn't want you to be free. He wants you to be a slave. Number two is influence. If you have a hold of your influence, which is the Holy Spirit, should be the leading of the Holy Spirit if you know who I am and you follow me, you already have a good influence. But if you take control of your finances and you're not bound by the slavery of this world, then the enemy can't touch you. It's a good way to think about it. That's why we also are talking about the storehouses and being self-sufficient. These are important things. So, how you can preserve your wealth, and like I said, I'm not a financial advisor, but that's what I would do. It's my personal opinion, is take my fiat currency, which is dwindling by the day, and getting us some silver to back up what will only go up in value because it's God's currency. He has blessed this currency, and he will bless you if your spirit resonates with that. If it doesn't, then that's okay. I'm not pushing anything on you. What I want you to do is not be entrapped by slavery from the enemy anymore. I believe we have a mission to set the captives free in all aspects of life. That's my mission. That's what I feel God has put on my life. And this is how I can help, is setting the captives free, one video at a time, one small little helpful hint at a time. And that's my service to you. And I want you to please go to I can't really point because it's weird, but the public square, EKKARK. Submit your questions and talk to me personally if you need any help finding the silver that's best for you, because there are so many different types of silver out there that you can purchase. I know that when you go into the market, it can seem overwhelming. I am 110% willing to not just help you in my opinion, but I'm willing to help you make the right purchase for you within your budget. Because the biggest thing is you don't want to be taking money out of your, or you don't want to be taking food out of your mouths. So that means that the storehouse is way more important than silver. Okay, I want to let you know that right now. Making sure you have a hedge against starvation is way more important than a hedge against inflation. That's a good saying. I'm going to market that. No, anyway, a hedge against, I'm going to say it again because I love it. A hedge against starvation is way more important than a hedge against inflation, okay? But to hedge against inflation, you're investing in this thing right here. So that's it. I hope you learned something here today. I hope it was helpful. And I want to say God bless you guys. I hope you enjoyed this little introduction video. And I'll see you guys next time. Please submit your questions in the public square. And God bless you. God bless your families. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.